The biggest surprise was the incredible momentum and traction citywide inclusive sanitation achieved at the World Bank. Within the bank and outside the bank, it's become a real global movement now, which is very satisfying to see. In addition, there's a group of passionate, fantastic young professionals at the bank taking the CWIS idea and momentum forward within the bank and with their government and development partner counterparts. There are so many key achievements in these 10 years. Within the bank, there's traction in a number of programs around the world, from Albania to Angola, from Mozambique to Indonesia, from Somalia to the Caribbean. Citywide inclusive sanitation is being embraced in World Bank projects. But also outside of the World Bank, the other multilateral development banks, bilaterals, NGOs, think tanks, and academia, such as here at IAVAG, looking at, with their master's students and PhD students, citywide inclusive sanitation. So CWIS is both a framework approach, a framework of principles, and a programmatic approach. Those principles being, look at services, not at infrastructure. We have to understand the enabling environment and the capacity building requirements of that. Who's accountable for services? We need to understand other services within the city as well. And it needs to be planning across the whole city. So they're the principles. In terms of programmatic approach, at the World Bank, it's become a programmatic approach, and in other MDBs and bilaterals, in which we're looking at more than one country and bringing citywide inclusive sanitation into those countries, but also between generations of engagements, it's become a programmatic approach. Good examples we have in Mozambique and in Zambia, Lusaka, we have in Kenya, we have in Cambodia, India and Bangladesh. We also have them in high-income countries such as Uruguay and Brazil, which are recognizing they won't reach universal services if they're only focusing on sewers, and they need a mixed approach, a citywide inclusive sanitation approach. Firstly, it's worth saying I see CWIS as a really important foundation for the pre-2030 and the post-2030 agendas. It's still incredibly relevant. In terms of challenges, it's often changing mindsets and making governments, utilities and other key sector stakeholders think differently about urban sanitation and embracing different approaches. We need to do more advocacy. We need to make the case as to why they need to embrace a mix of solutions and approaches. Another big challenge is the fact that some people equate citywide inclusive sanitation with on-site sanitation only. And it needs to be a mix of solutions that is tailored to the realities of the city and how that city is developing. I don't think there should be differentiated service levels for different neighborhoods. There needs to be the same service levels with different service types, different service solutions, which could be on-site, it could be container-based sanitation, it could be simplified or conventional sewers, but everyone has to have safely managed sanitation. That is the service level we need to achieve for all, irrespective of the type of service that we're providing. Simplified sewers is misunderstood. They're incredibly important in dense urban areas and they can be implemented there. We need to understand how they work and we need to educate and we need to change mindsets regarding conventional sewers and how simplified sewers can get into informal, unplanned peri-urban areas and be a complement to on-site sanitation where that works. Leave no one behind is inclusive. So we need to make sure everyone's there. Everyone has those services wherever you're living in the city. Cities are dynamic and change. Water volumes going into cities make our wastewater challenges more complicated. So we need to adapt as cities grow, and then we will leave no one behind.